in 2016. EA Sports announced their new competitive system that would shape the future of the football gaming franchise.
This is also a mode I'm particularly looking forward to called FUT Champions, which is all about bringing competitive gaming and Ultimate Team together.
The ranked mode known as FUT Champions promised to allow FIFA players to show off their skills and compete with the best, and in return, they would win in-game rewards based on their rankings. On top of that, the best players could qualify for events where they could win real prize money and gain exposure like they'd never experienced before. Esports organizations and football clubs alike began signing highly skilled FIFA players to prepare for what EA had in store for the future. A prize pool of $1.3 million signaled a good first step for FIFA 17. The idea seemed to be exactly what the community needed.
We wanted the competitive scene to grow. A game mode like this was definitely needed, you know.
From the outside looking in, FIFA had finally become a fairly respectable esport, and it felt like EA were ready to push their game to the next level. At least, that's what they wanted everyone to think.
Every game on FIFA 20 is a 50-50. Like, he'll win the next one, I'll win this one, because the game is so, like, unrewarding, and no one enjoys playing it, but, you know.
I'm out of words at this point, and I'm really convinced, that FIFA 20 is just a social experiment at this point. I don't understand, but this is crazy, man.
Conceded 2 goals to make it 2-2, but luckily the kickoff glitch is still in the game, and yeah.
But this game now makes me sad.
The doctor in terms of this matchup. As we see, looks like a rage quit there.
Where they're trying to make a fun and realistic football game, and they've succeeded in neither department. The gameplay simply isn't fun. The results are often unfair.
How are you supposed to know to abuse the mechanics if you're new to the community? And that's the problem with this game. I think to myself, of people that don't know about the broken mechanics, how do you pick this game up and go, oh wow, this is good?
This game's an embarrassment. What an absolute embarrassment. Oh my god. What an embarrassment of a video game.
Above all, right in the logo.
$27,000. This was roughly the average real-life currency value of a competitor's team at a tournament in January of 2019. Although these teams and cards don't have any real-world physical value, you can get a rough estimate based on the coin value of the player and how many FIFA points would need to be spent to get there. EA could have chosen any game mode to carry out competitive FIFA, but they chose Ultimate Team. Why? Most importantly, it's the only game mode that features microtransactions. But why do casual players and professionals alike feel the need to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars each and every year? Other competitive game modes such as Rocket League, Fortnite, and League of Legends have all found ways to make money from in-game purchases that do not result in a competitive advantage for players. FIFA is one of the only esport titles where spending more money can provide a competitive in-game advantage.
With a game like FIFA, repurchase it every year, annually, at full price, $60 and now $70. And then you have your microtransactions reset, so you have to re-gamble for all of the items that you earned and pay for that stuff all over again.
FIFA is different from almost every other esport because it releases a brand new game every year. This means that each year, the old FIFA becomes a thing of the past. It's been out for a year, the gameplay feels the same, and you already have all the best players. There's nothing to look forward to anymore, but a new one is just around the corner. All of the new players and coins on the previous year's FIFA are now irrelevant. You build your club again from scratch. It's a new cycle. Each year is a reset, both in-game and mentally for the player. The old game got boring, and you're ready for a new challenge. So, what do you do at the start of one? Of course, you could just simply play games with your starter squad and struggle your way through division rivals, or even squad battles. Or you could trade on the live transfer market, hoping you learn how to make enough coins fast enough to justify spending time on the market instead of actually playing the game you just paid for. But why not just scroll over a couple tabs? The game is designed to push you in this direction. It's the simplest way, and you get the addictingly satisfying enjoyment of opening packs. For pros especially, this cycle just hits harder. Every year feels like a new chance. A chance to join an established organization, or maybe even your favorite club team. It's a chance to start the year with a better in-game squad by spending more money, or hopefully just packing better players. A chance to qualify for events and get seen on the big stage. A chance to make a living as a professional gamer. It's not hard to fathom that people want to chase this vision, and EA knows exactly how to sell it to you.
With FIFA Ultimate Team, the negative motivation is, if you don't pay, you fall behind. you competitively won't be able to keep up. Give us money now.
Let's talk pay to win in FIFA. This could be an entire video in itself, and it likely will be in the future. Although EA have come under heavy scrutiny for their use of loot boxes, especially in a competitive game mode, it continues to be the backbone of their sports games. I'll start with this. By no means am I saying that buying FIFA points is a guaranteed way to success in competitive FIFA. Player skill is still the most important aspect. You could even make the argument that pay to win has become less of a factor than it once was due to the release of more cards and an overall cheaper market. It is now possible to obtain great in-game players at cheaper prices than ever before, but certain top-tier cards will always hold advantages over those now cheaper meta cards, and their market prices still fully reflect this. EA have also implemented certain squad restrictions for some online qualifier events, but even still in FIFA 23, it would take nearly 20 million coins to achieve a maxed out meta team, and that's just the starting 11. For the many of those who do spend money at the start of FIFA and throughout the cycle, there is still an undeniable advantage. Let's create a visual. Let's say Timmy, Brad, and Chad all start here at the launch of FIFA 23. Timmy decides to not spend money at the start. He'd rather grind objectives, SBCs, and get a little trading advice on the side. A noble choice. Brad decides to use some money from his summer job and puts in $200. This will give him a nice jumpstart. Meanwhile, Chad is a professional FIFA player. Thanks to his previous tournament winnings and help from his esports team, he's able to put in $3,000. If we tracked the value of their FUT clubs over the span of a FIFA cycle, we'd likely see an exponential difference between the three of them. Timmy is at a disadvantage because at the start of the game when making coins is generally the easiest, he doesn't have any to really kickstart the process. His team will be worse, and likely his rewards will be too. Brad will be able to build a cheap meta team, or even do some high volume trading if he so wishes. He'll likely be able to compete against most players early on. But meanwhile, Chad raked in millions of coins before he's even played his first game. He's built a professional level squad in a matter of hours. This will only make it easier for Chad to rank higher in weekend league and division rivals, get better rewards faster, and have a better chance at qualifying for events. Timmy and Brad have always been interested in getting into competitive FIFA, but they're now discouraged. To really match Chad, it will either take a lot of money or a lot of time. It's just simply EA's business model equation. To reiterate, spending money does not equal competitive success, but it can provide you a significant advantage. And if you spend enough money, you will be able to buy the best players that Ultimate Team has to offer.
So yeah, I've spent a lot of money on FIFA points. In this video, we're gonna go through every pro team I've used from FIFA 18, where we spent $100, and FIFA 23, where we're gonna spend roughly $10,000. Yes, guys, thanks.
In a game where it's common for competitors to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars at the start of each game, you would expect lucrative prize pools to match this. The reality is much different. In several major LAN tournaments from FIFA 17 onward, many competitors who may have traveled thousands of miles walked away with just $750. Accounting for organization fees, taxes, and the money they spent on their teams, this probably didn't feel too rewarding. Players placed 9th through 64th in certain tournaments would receive only global series points without a cash prize whatsoever. As pointed out by me 4 years ago, they would have actually been better off playing at my local radio station. In FIFA 19, the E-Premier League had a competition where all 20 teams were represented by a competitive FIFA player, but there was no prize money to be won. In FIFA 22, online qualifier prize pools looked like this, with just 8 players getting payouts. As I mentioned earlier on, EA contributed $1.3 million when they launched FUT Champions in the FIFA 17 cycle. 5 full game cycles later, EA contributed $3.3 million for the full FIFA 22 competitive season. This just barely more than Booga made for placing first in Fortnite's 2019 World Cup. And if we look across the 6 different game titles from FIFA 17 to FIFA 22, EA have contributed just over $12 million into the competitive FIFA prize pools. To show the scale once more, that's still less than the amount that Epic Games spent on the 2019 Fortnite Solo World Cup, just half the total prize money for one tournament. Despite EA growing massively over the recent years, especially during the peak of COVID, we haven't seen this reflected at all in the prize pools. Although champions and runner-ups do get a fairly respectable payout, the payouts for these spots haven't really grown over the recent years. EA CEO Andrew Wilson has stated that once EA officially parts ways with FIFA, it should open the door for more interesting possibilities for the game as a whole, especially the esports scene.
EA is not partnered with FIFA. That means that they can take sponsorships and work with brands that compete with FIFA partners. That means they can work with more brands that bring in more sponsorships for bigger prize pools and more content opportunities.
Many players obviously rely on salaries from their clubs or other revenue streams as a content creator, but wouldn't it be nice if they could occasionally look forward to big tournament payouts too? It's difficult to gain widespread awareness for an esport if the money you're playing for is almost negligible. Lucrative prize pools provide incentive for pro players, interest from casual players, and ultimately, a reason to truly care about the competitions. It should say a lot that we're this far into the video, and I haven't even talked about how bad the gameplay is and the bugs that come with it.
The goalkeeper's coming. Oh my god! What? Hold on. Has he saved that? How's that allowed? That's a red card, surely, ref.
Each iteration of FIFA comes with its own problems, and we've seen many over the years. Where do we begin?
Self up! Courtois doesn't get down! Oh, it's a mess!
That almost feels deserved after the first goal.
I was about to say whatever De Gea can do.
From El Tornado and La Croqueta in FIFA 19.
Keep his composure. Can he find a chance? Havertz again. 2, 3. It's magic from Marcuso!
Drop back and play possession in FIFA 20. To fullbacks playing center back in FIFA 21. Every game has a meta to abuse. Playing during a promotion, during weekend league, or late at night all come with varying speeds of gameplay. Playing at certain times of the day or week can mean you need to play with a different playstyle because of the number of people on the game at one time. Overpowered defensive AI allows for auto blocks from defenders that you aren't even controlling, and also promotes lazy, yet effective defending.
Virgil van Dijk just pretty much earning them Rajic $7,000.
Competitive FIFA is based off of 1v1 or 2v2 matches, but there are 22 in-game players. This means at any given time, you're only controlling a small fraction of your team. A pro club style competition logically makes more sense, but this is still very much in the early stages and has several potential flaws to it as well. Gameplay is consistently inconsistent. You could repeat one action 5 times over and get a different result every time. Not ideal for an esport game. Animation glitches still run rampant. Whether it be the ball going through your player's foot or your goalkeeper's hand,
Eusebio steps up down the middle and somehow...
How was he not saying?
direct free kicks inside the penalty box, or your players deciding that gravity doesn't apply to them today.
What the hell was that? This is sent from PlayStation. This is real.
No one game of FIFA has the same animations.
There's no way.
Entire gameplay overhauls less than a month in, hidden patch note updates, animations that only slow the game down, camera angles that don't quite make sense, green timed finesse shots,
Takes it early and finds the top corner. Oh, it's 4.
horrendous, unexplainable CPU errors,
He goes across and Hullet does not lock on.
constant pressure and overload ball side from teams that are never short on stamina, new no-loss glitches found in nearly every game.
There is a no-loss glitch in every mode on FIFA. On both consoles, I believe. People are using it like crazy.
And it's all built on a Frostbite game engine that has faced nothing but backlash from gamers and experienced developers alike. FIFA franchise gameplay embodies everything that an esport shouldn't be.
No way. It seems literally invisible.
Glitches are abundant, consistency is unheard of, and credit cards might buy you a few extra wins. And if the gameplay inconsistencies weren't bad enough, you often have to fight the servers as well.
Maybe there's attack potential here as Rashford picks up the ball. Looks like they might have a little pause in the game here. But let's talk about how good Venny has been so far for Southampton, Dan. He has been absolutely superb. I mean, he couldn't have played a better game. Maybe put in one of those chances away.
This is ridiculous. If you guys, feel a certain way about the video today, are you kidding me? The servers are down right now? All right, hold up, dude.
If I didn't have the filter mode on for the Net Duma, I matched up with European servers over here, African servers, South American servers, right? It's actually...
And it's hashtag who are trying to find their way towards goal, but unfortunately there's a technical error in that game.
There's a few major issues that have been prevalent with EA's FIFA servers over the years. But let's start with server overload. By now, most Ultimate Team players know to stay away from gameplay anytime a new promotion is released. These are generally peak hours for casual and hardcore players alike to be on the game at the same time. During these periods, input lag and server disconnects seem to be much more common in gameplay, and fighting it can seem pointless at times.
What do you mean you're gonna check the match report? What is that?
And although disconnect losses seem to be less common now than they once were,
GG's, 5-0.
they could often cost pro players valuable wins during periods where they were trying to qualify for events.
Bro, look at the screen.
Even at LAN events, it is not uncommon for server disconnects to occur. A player could be on the attack and lose all momentum because somehow the game disconnects from the servers at an in-person event.
We see that pass given away, and it looks like we might have a little bit of a technical issue here. You can see some confusion on the eyes of the players and the faces of the players.
Server upgrades tend to be #1 on the list of demands of many FIFA players. While EA has made some upgrades and added servers in certain locations, the issues only seem to continue. During event qualifiers, some players will even be forced to play opponents in different continents. This usually results in one or even both of those players having a massive disadvantage as their connection between each other is extremely poor. Ultimately, it's difficult to have a successful esport, or game in general, if you can't rely on the servers it's played on.
Too sure what's just happened there with the game, whether it's just slowed down there for both players. Obviously, we're just seeing exactly what we're...
I swear guys, if they don't fix the servers, I'm gonna break everything in my studio.
But there's still one more thing that makes this game the disaster that it is. The accountability of the company behind it.
How bad the servers are and how unbelievable it is, but it's only getting worse. And it feels like it's a freaking social experiment all over again, because every time that we complain about something on this damn game, it just appears to get worse. I don't know how that's...
He now knows
so that's where Mark spotted straight away.
Now he's seen it. He's pointing. Headphones coming out. Demon see it as well. Hand up 3 times.
The thing is as well, sorry to interrupt Rachel, is that Mark is also trying to still do his job of taking a penalty shootout when knowing that that's there.
Steps up from the spot and he saved again!
And you can see the controllers on screen. So clearly Mark is upset, waves his hand to say, hey, can you correct this? And apparently once you actually notify admins they're supposed to, they didn't. So this is a $150,000 call that it costs one player, not the other, and it just sucks because it taints both sides, even taints the victory for Manu.
Making mistakes is one thing, and no one company or person is perfect. Mistakes are bound to happen. But if instead of learning from those mistakes, you continue to make them and avoid taking real accountability for them, there lies a deeper problem. In order to keep their main account clean and for players to keep up with all of the errors, they even had to make an entirely separate communications account, and even this account goes silent at times. If something goes wrong, they can always promise that it will be better next year, because at the end of the day, they still have the football game market cornered and the esport along with it. Despite all of its flaws, FIFA is still by far and away the most advanced football game on the market, all things considered. As long as their profits continue to grow, and they aren't properly held accountable, they have no real reason to change their ways or overhaul the predatory system they have built.